Hello YouTube, and welcome to episode 8 in my Frieren Beyond Journey's End reaction series. Back here again today for some more Frieren Beyond Journey's End. So yeah, it's about the middle of the week. It's time to record some Frieren again. I had some grand plans about doing 3 episodes, but then my roster dropped in and yeah, no, not going to happen. Definitely going to do the 2 next week for sure. The 9 and 10, which I've been told go together, so sure, that's what you can expect next week, but as a result, this week's a little bit on the lackluster side. And that's kind of 2 weeks in a row now, which is kind of unfortunate. I like to aim for the 3 episodes a fortnight on your standard 24-minute anime show stuff. So it's disappointing when I can't do that. But all's well that ends well, I guess. We'll get there eventually, and the more I consume now, the more I'll just catch up to where the show is properly. I had it up here somewhere. Hang on. Yeah, we're up to 13 apparently. So yeah, I'm not even that much far behind everybody else, so sure. Make of that what you will. Either way, the YouTube comments are up here. Quite a bit here. There was a particular topic of discussion last week, I guess, about the demons and how demons work in this world and that kind of thing. So a lot of people bouncing off of that and kind of giving their perceptions on it and that kind of thing. I'm happy to say I wasn't alone in this feeling kind of challenging. Yeah, a lot of people were with me initially, but now through these comments, I think I've come to terms with what to actually expect from this part of the story. First comment here, Chance Lewis. The demons are basically more intelligent monsters that evolved just to deceive. They aren't evil, just amoral and ruthless. And I like this distinction, right? They're not acting out of malevolence, right? They're not trying to fucking get you. The reality is they need to eat. They need to eat humans and supposedly elves as well, maybe. They're just going to do it however they can. They don't have that same human code of ethics that a lot of the other cast in the show have. So they're just going to do what they want, I guess. Of course, this being brought up by Flam initially, who am I to say that she is wrong at this point? I will say, a lot of the show is about at least challenging preconceived notions, so I'm still holding in the back of my mind that we may subvert this at some point. Well, that's a scary word, subvert. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on if this perspective on demons holds true throughout the entire text. We'll see. We'll see. Next comment here, Beatrice Oliveira. Since it's never directly stated, I'm just going to say it. Aura was scared of Himmel. She got fucked by the party and decided to lay low until he died. So yeah, the 28 years thing, that's why that matches up. It's never stated specifically, but yeah, I was on the right track there. Essentially, she's in hiding. She's like, I'm not going to do shit until this guy's dead, because I don't want to fuck with him. Of course, we may get some interesting reactions when Frieren shows up. To kind of like, hey, hi, haven't seen you in, 80 years, whatever the hell. How's it been going? It was said before that Flem is an ancient hero written about in magical history. There is a text about her, but it's so scarce and it has been so long, to most people it's almost as if she's just a story, right? Like, kind of what really happened got kind of hearsay, turned into myth. People don't even know if it's real anymore. Of course, we don't have the wealth of knowledge of something like the internet in this world, so people can't just like look it up. And Himmel definitely noticed Frieren's melancholy over being the only one who remembers Flem, which is one of the reasons he did the statues. Oh, okay, that first segment last week is making a whole lot more sense now, right? So Frieren's a little bit sad because, like, obviously has this connection with Flam, which has been established through earlier segments of the story. Specifically, there's the Einsam and seeing kind of Flam, like that's the person that was the most important to her, and that's the person that showed up in the illusion. That transitioned to Himmel, but at one point she was the most important person to Frieren, right? You can infer that. So Himmel's like, shit, one of the most important people to Frieren is passing into legend, right? Where they're not going to be remembered the same way, and yeah, that's hurtful to Frieren, I guess. Himmel notices this, wants to make a specific effort to get statues and that out there to make sure that the legend is passed down. We weren't a fairy tale, we existed. Yes, this makes now a lot of sense. Thank you for this paragraph. Next comment here, Brian HM. This shows kind of like what demons would be like in real life, just like a pure predator, just like a tiger to a deer. Kind of what we were talking about here, right? Tigers aren't evil because they're going with their nature. That's just how nature works. And in this world, you have a pretty direct predator to humans. I'm wondering about how widespread this is. Obviously, it's a Northern Lands thing, otherwise, it would be common knowledge to somebody like Stark, who has been at least around the area for a while, so a little bit weird. A little bit of a weird one for sure. Yeah, common theme in the comments. We're just kind of seeing it as a fact of life. This is just how life works in this world. Airwave 2K2. Next comment here. Should we tell you what Lugner is translated? I don't know. Okay, sure. And then, of course, the Willy part from last week, and then an addendum here as well. The world building regarding magic, for example, is not mentioned in All at Once. So it's kind of almost a meta story alongside the actual story as you're kind of figuring out how this all works along the way. You're not going to stop the plot and tell you how it all works, right? So even if the weapons are magical, it's not necessarily what the party uses. They're kind of a means to an end channeling device where you're going to put your inner strength into it. Fern learned to cast her spells in a way that Frieren did. If they had to change staves, then I don't think anything would change really. However, later on we will see more. Just don't get bogged down on one set of how this works potentially. Next comment here, Salo Carnal. I forget me even saying this last week, but sure. Judging by the dialogue here, oh yeah, I remember this. The heroes party, and like, did they know that Frieren was associated with Phlegm, as we talked about down here? At least maybe Himmel was aware. I think so, right? That's the person that had the look, right? But here's even more evidence from episode 3 or 4, when Eisen did tell Fern that Frieren was Phlegm's best student. So at some point she must have told them, maybe not in the moment of that flashback, but at some point he gained this knowledge. Potentially it could have been when Heiter found out, potentially, but then we've got some conflicting reports here, because Heiter and Eisen are pen pals, so maybe they talked about that. Either way, unless it becomes plot relevant, I'm not that concerned about it. Next comment here. Gurgelschlorz, sometimes a demon is just a demon. Yeah, pretty directly what we've been talking about before. Sometimes there isn't the nuance that I think maybe there's going to be. Got a longer comment here from Moe Moe Kyun. Hell yeah. I can't believe my thousands-year-old elf waifu is racist. Womp womp. But seriously, I think the demons in the show are actual demons, not anime sexy demons. Well, they may be sexy, but that's kind of besides the point. And yeah, we're going through similar ideas here. Capable of human speech, but no morals or empathy. The demon child being the best example of this. The demon can't comprehend why murdering the village chief and offering his daughter in exchange wasn't a good idea. She sensed the mother's desire to kill her, and in her attempt to preserve herself, she fucked up even further, basically. Like, they don't understand, they understand the words and the logic of the situation, but potentially not the emotions of it. Why was the mother grieving a lost daughter? It's because it's irreplaceable. That's why. You cannot give other child to other person and just make it better completely. Of course, not absolutely all the time, because adoption exists, but potentially it's on people's terms most of the time, and not on a demon girl killing a village chief. But it's not like the demons are dumb either. They're very intelligent, just not emotionally intelligent, right? Are we contrasting that potentially with Frieren a little bit, who is very intelligent, but not always emotionally intelligent in the same way that the other characters are. Another note here, perhaps the demons look like humans precisely for you to lower your guard, right? They've kind of evolved that way because it's the way that makes humans lower their guard the most. Because if they looked like scary super demon crazy monsters, then we would think they were super demon crazy monsters, right? Because they look like kind of sexy demons, that's why we reason with them, right? That's why I even tried to reason with them last week. Sorry for the long message, buddy. You should watch the Monogatari reaction series, also the Symphogear ones. Those are the long comments. Jesus. But yeah, this is the start of the racist Frieren arc. Great, awesome. Progressing towards her gamer arc in total. And for anybody that didn't know, we're memeing, obviously. Yeah, Beatrice Oliveira just adding a reply here, saying that, hey, yeah, I was totally fine with killing demons until I saw the demons, and then was like, wait, hold up, they look like humans. Let's just wait this out. Let's see what's going on here. And again, that's part of the con. That's part of the ploy. Ooh, potentially even invoking pretty privilege here. Interesting. Ooh. Okay, sure. Cerberus here reiterating some points as well. Yeah, demons are demons, right? They're not like demons from other anime. They're a specific thing to Frieren as a story. So don't confuse it with something else and potentially think we're going to do some potentially rote storytelling with it. Shinsasu here teasing the usual translations, but we think we're going to wait an episode for that, so I'll wait with bated breath on that one. Next one here, Black Rose's Thorn. I had the same initial reaction to the demons. In general, I dislike evil races in fantasy settings, if not for just having some weird implications, just for being boring, really. The demons are fine for what they are. If the show says they're basically animals that use speech to, in the same way a mockingbird uses mimicry, who am I to disagree? But definitely my least favorite bit of the world building so far. But there's some cool stuff down the line that makes it worth it, though. So something to look forward to. Can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs and all that. Yeah, I was leaning this way, but then I'm kind of thinking like, wait, should it just be like the same as every other fantasy show, right? Where we're, gonna have some nuance there. Sometimes the lack of nuance in itself is kind of engaging, right? Like it's unique. It stands out to me right now, right? We're going to see where it goes. Of course, there's some cool stuff coming down the line, but I think I've grown from my initial negative reaction to it last week to come to terms with it, and now I'm ready to see what we do with it. You've got a baseline, now show me what you're going to change. And last comment here from creator, apparently Lugner, I'm bad with names, obviously you've watched my videos, but Sukuna's voice from Jujutsu Kaisen, so it's kind of hard for that guy to be considered maybe a good guy, considering he's got like the most evil voice ever. Not that I specifically picked it up last week, which is embarrassing because like I just watched Jujutsu Kaisen, so like what am I doing? What am I doing, basically? Either way, last week, pretty easy setup. We're still in that kind of dungeon with Frieren. We've got that one guy. He's going to try to pick a fight, but he's probably going to lose. As I said last week, the drama there is going to be if he escapes or not, because Frieren is not going down this easily. Like, come on. She's very, very powerful. Other than that, we've got Fern and Stark on the outside, a little bit unsure about things, but potentially leaving that jail cell a little more convinced on Frieren's point of view. In the background of these characters we've just met, we've got Graf Granite, and he's gonna lead the town to be like dead. He's doing a bad job, but he's doing the same job that I did last week of kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt, which you should never do. Never do that. Either way, we're going to jump into episode 8 here shortly, but not without my shill stuff. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you've thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord. Love Discord. And Discord, there will be a poll. Maybe. I'm still deciding what I'm going to do for the weekend slot. So hence why there hasn't been a poll yet. But maybe there will be. I'm thinking about maybe doing movies with the caveat that I'm going to do it on my weekends off. So maybe like every 2-week thing. Which means what am I going to do that other weekend? I don't know. I'm kind of spitballing at the moment. But if you feel passionate about such a thing, Discord is the place to discuss that. Either way, jumping into episode 8 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End right now. Rightio, I have episode 8 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End up there ready to go. 24 minutes and 29 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly. Using the subs please version, so it should be relatively similar to what everybody else has, as well as the picture-in-picture version still existing in the description below for those that need it. So yeah, just going to give this a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Rightio? 3, 2, 1, go. Indeed. Yeah, I'd imagine we're exactly where we left off. Even to the point of potentially replaying some content. Oh no! It'll give me a chance to settle in. Drought. Droughtoda. Frieren's kind of slaying this scene. Thoughts? Yeah. In that I defeated her. Okay. You sure? It seems like it's really good. Literally. You've got no chance, buddy. I'm sorry. But I'm not humanity. Frieren, get out your fucking Glock 9. Shoot him in the back of the head. Kids these days. Yeah, you're donezo, bud. Go back to the little league, bud. Don't let him talk. Oh shit. Yeah, murder them all. Alright. I mean, I know the guard's dead, but are there, like, more guards? Hmm. I mean, this guy here's pretty good evidence. I bet if he was a witness to that, then he would probably be, anyway, a little bit more helpful. So yeah, from last week, that played out about like I thought it would. Like, sorry, bud. The show's called Frieren. You got no chance here. Just reading between the lines a little bit. It's like One Punch Man or something, right? You come up against One Punch Man, his name's on the box. You're not gonna beat the guy, you know? Unless something goes tragically wrong. And of course, there's exceptions to the rule, of course. And I would say time left in the story is inversely proportional to how likely it is they're gonna die, or whatever I say. You know what I mean. Also, like Nega Freer in there, which is cool. All right, show me something. Oh, these two. Oh, hamburger. Hell yeah. They're staring into each other's eyes. It seems pretty peaceful. Yo, take some time to breathe. No, she doesn't want your food. Yeah, based on her story, yeah. Well, she's one step ahead of you. She's done that already. Is he? Yeah. Oh, so he's not paying you any mind. Con shaky boy. Oddly specific. Yeah, wipe your pants, you grot. It's not often we get some cock cam. Remember what I said about like Frieren as a show and incorporating all the characters like having a little bit to do in an arc? This is great. That's some great Stark stuff. Up you get. Because he's dead. And you guys are... Yeah, okay. Well, the other side would be, Am I stupid? Like, do demons care about each other's deaths? Are they empathetic towards their own race? No, there's the whole story about how they don't really have family. Yeah, okay. Now I remember. We found him dead in the... Anyway, whatever. Oh, his corpse disintegrated. Okay, never mind. You gonna do the lie thing? Seemingly not. It's a lot of blood. Alright, the jig's up. But also this guy's a bloodbender. I like how they're both not attacking at once. Like, she's so confident he'll win. He's got that bloodborne drip. But it still doesn't seem like that either. Interesting. In so much as that, yeah. Yep, seems bad. Isn't the swords for the owner his, like, son or whatever from last week? Why would I do that? I'd rather die. Who's that cloaked figure that's shorter than me? Like, immediately discovered. How'd you know? I'd rather wait it out. Yeah, so it makes it look like you did it. Looks bad. Which is why I'm curious as to why Granite knew that. He made the right choice, but still. It's really not in the spirit of, you know, your new persona. Which one are you talking to? Stark or Fern? Or both? Don't make me get on my fucking knees. Oh shit. Get up. That's fun. You get to see her reaction. Yeah. From 10Ks away, you reckon? What's that? Okay. It seems demonic. Is that an aura? Hey. Okay. Damn, she's gone off the deep end. What are you two doing? Okay. Subterfuge. Someone's gonna give him a hug, I think. He's having a bad run, Stark. Okay, now he's back. How? Or I'll just fly. I can do that. I would have humored him. I would have flew up to grab his hand. Probably not. This is massive Baldur's Gate vibes all over this. Okay. Sounds like Frieren. Oh yeah, I remember that guy. As opposed to Frieren, who does like everything. Okay. Well, get to your point. Oh. Ooh. Okay, sure. Phlegm mentioned. Phlegm mentioned. Let's go. Hamburger spell. Yeah. Okay, I understand now the point. That's interesting. Why would I open it? No. You're gonna have to torture it out of me. Mm. Torch is pretty bad. But I mean, this guy seems pretty honorable, if anything else. Never heard so much about grimoires until this show. Hey, how you doing? That's a bit sad. Come on. Yeah, but he died. Okay. Oh. Okay, give me the necklace then. Oh, well, you're in trouble now. Okay. Nope. Where's Fern? Thoughts? No. He did it. He steeled his resolve. Teleports behind you? He doesn't look that perturbed. Oh, okay. Well, that blood in the air is pretty bad, yeah. It's like one of them, you know, the sticky hands? It's like one of those. I haven't even seen this girl move once. She's just along for the ride. Hmm. But did I? Time to murder. What? Okay, she fucking nuked him. Okay, is that death? That seems like death. That's like most of his torso. How? Well, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to. Hmm. Not this new style one. Hey, Stark, what about you get up? Thoughts? Alright, I would have murdered them, but sure. Okay. I guess we got what we wanted. Bye. So we'll be able to track them? Yeah, okay. Who made such modifications? Okay. So do you, like, remember her, or are you now putting two and two together? Okay. she she definitely she's definitely in her racist arc. Yeah. She also worked pretty hard because she's had infinite time. It's kind of a weird in between one. Yeah, that was very fun. I liked that episode. Uh yeah, I want Stark to do some more stuff. He did not do some stuff. I liked the scene between him and Granite. I thought that was pretty good. But I don't know, he felt like the thing we were building up most out of this. I guess I like our hook as well, like Frieren literally facing this huge army by herself. Literally let me solo her. um I don't know. I think we definitely saved the guy. Could we have pressed the advantage there and at least killed Lugna or whatever? Potentially. But again, we got what we wanted, so what can I say really out of that? I'm very proud of myself that I haven't talked about it so far because it's fucking hot as shit outside. It's like 41 degrees Celsius, which I've got no idea on the Fahrenheit, but I'd imagine that's in the hundreds somewhere. Anyway, it's hot. It's hot as shit here. Okay, what's our title, please? Sure, or the guillotine. Let me get that temperature here while I'm here. Yeah, that's 105 Fahrenheit, people. It's fucking hot outside. Oh shit. Either way, yeah, back with some analysis very, very shortly. So yeah, episode 8 in the bag. Bag is pictured. Yeah, pretty good. I liked that. I want to see more. I am engaged. I want to see resolution to this conflict. I like the themes we introduced this episode, kind of reiterating the stuff around development of magic and magic growing over time that we initially explored with the guy who was here somewhere in the episode. But yeah, remember how like we were kind of building up Fern to face this guy that's like really strong, but then it turns out he's only really strong by like fucking 80 years ago standards, so he's not really that strong. Showing the development of stuff over time, but kind of offering that counterpoint that some amount of genius stands the test of time, which I certainly agree with through many facets of life. But yeah, Flem is one of such geniuses, right? She developed the kind of dome that's keeping the demons out at the moment. Frieren has similar vibes to that, obviously, considering Flem and Frieren's connection. And yeah, Frieren said she wants to end this quickly. She's literally going off to solo the army. She's the most bestest demon race killer in the world, which is I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, it's fun. I like how she's gonna just go solo everybody. Aura doesn't seem that concerned about it, so I don't know. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she's got some kind of counter for Frieren. I have noticed that we're gonna say the next two episodes go together, which tells me that there's going to be a dip and a rise again. It seems like we're in a pretty good spot right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if episode 9 next week is a little bit more of a a downer one where some bad stuff happens. Potentially the town is threatened. Potentially they find some pretty good counter for Frieren. I don't know. Other than that, last week I thought Graf Granite was a little bit one note, so he's got a little bit more depth. Here today, we've seen some other sides to his personality, I guess. He's not fucking super dumb because he realized the whole prison ploy, but also I don't understand how he realized that. Did he make a pretty good guess? Maybe. Frieren's not the... Yeah, because Frieren didn't attack the guards when she was being arrested. This is why, right? Okay. So Frieren didn't attack the guards when getting arrested. She got arrested safely, right? Without protest. And if she was a murderous killer the whole time that could decapitate a guard, then why didn't she do it initially? Kind of in that same vein, like the demons, I know what a demon is like, even if this is a peace envoy thing. So this seems like demon work. And then pressing that, you guys have like down a guy, put two and two together. I can understand how he did that now. Okay, cool. And we've got some nice plot setups for the future. We've got that necklace indicating that potentially Graf Granite doesn't need to be alive for for things to proceed. The other one is we got some Stark story stuff. So like a little bit more of that stealing yourself, resolve, knowing your own strength, believing in yourself, all his kind of sub themes that were through his initial arc as well. Fern is based. She eats hamburger this episode, which is good content. Other than that, I think we're just going to have another look and see what we can see. But yeah, largely very enjoyable. So we start the episode with Frieren being hung in a cell. Like, take this as a screenshot and people's minds could wander any kind of way. But yeah, she's got this under control. This kind of deadpan is just her vibe normally, so it's fine. So this whole time they're like trying to out nonchalant each other, but then this guy says the fight's already over, and then he drops his facade, and then us, the audience, know that Frieren's entirely in control. Well, this is good stuff as well. So this is the best of demons magic or whatever. It's a really like human magic can't like stand up to this. This is so much superior to the standard level of human magic. Are you some kind of genius? Well, you are, and you're also an elf, right? So you're very good at this magic thing. You're then teaching very good magical habits to Fern to the point where you guys are better than your average human mage, right? Which this would probably just work on. So he's so confident that he's turned his back here. It's a bad sign. It's going to lead to at least a limb or two coming off. Yeah, kids these days are hopeless. I'm gonna cut your friggin' arm off. Kind of not noticing that this is a battle of life and death proportions and just thinking you've got it won because the wire's pretty good. You must be multifaceted, right? You can't be... Okay, so... And then there's the stuff later, right, about the demon going like, demons focus on one specific kind of magic and hone it, right? Compared to a more well-rounded Frieren that is now exhibiting many different kinds of magic and beating you because she's more versatile, right? If your one trump card's done, then you're done, right? So yeah, he loses both his hands, and then he loses his fucking head. I like the line, him saying, let's just talk, and then don't let him talk, explode his head. Very good stuff. Well, not very good, but you know what I mean. So that's one down. He like kind of disintegrated or whatever, which will become plot relevant later. If I report this tack to the Graf and kill the other two, surely he'll pardon me. However, my one tangible witness is also decapitated. So this looks pretty bad. I've escaped prison and a person has been magically decapitated. But again, I love that we don't go this plotline. Graf Granite smells fucking bullshit, right? If she didn't murder the guards before, why would she murder them now? After the opening, we have Fern eating a hamburger, which is pretty good content. Put up the gif of Yui eating a hamburger right now, which is the best gif on the internet. Anyway, I digress. Interesting scene here. So Stark goes on to say that this town serves good food. It must be a nice, comfortable place. We see somebody scratching a cat. Lots of hustling and bustling in the streets. Kids playing. Seems like a good place. This probably moves Fern somewhat to the point where she's like, shit, we gotta actually get a wriggle on here, otherwise shit's gonna hit the fan. So she scoffs down her burger and we're gonna get on the move. I like how Stark initially thinks that she's just like scoffing her food down so she can have some of his. Like, it's not all about you, man. So Fern wants to just go to Graf Granite and plea for Frieren's innocence and get her released. She's one step ahead of you. But then Stark pipes up here, right? That Lugner guy, he's unbelievably strong. And the reason behind that, right, is that his eyes, this whole entire time, they're focused on Frieren. He didn't pay Fern nor Stark any mind, right? Because he knows he's better. Like, if I'm in a field, right, and over here is like a fucking tiger, and then I'm like, okay, that tiger's over there. That's pretty fucked up. Over here's like a cow. I'm going to be focusing on the tiger. The tiger's the important thing there. The tiger's the threat. He doesn't see you as a threat. He sees you as potentially even livestock. I can kill you at any time. You're not a priority. Is that insulting? Does that talk to my actual talent level? Am I a fraud? All these old Stark themes coming back through again. You get the shaking here. Specifically, we show this 2 or 3 times before he clenches his fist in the 3rd act of the episode, kind of showing his resolve, right? Which is good. It's good progression, right? A little bit scared, steal your resolve, actually do it. Very similar to his mini arc during his introduction. Specifically spilling the liquid to make it look like he wet himself, like people would wet themselves when they're nervous about something, if they're scared, right? If you're, this guy over here wet himself, that's how scared he was. Are we playing off that a little bit? Probably. I would think so. And Fern's just kind of sick of his bullshit the entire time, like I don't want to. Just, here's a handkerchief, just do it, whatever. So Stark doesn't want to go, because a fight may break out in the, with the demons there or whatever. That wouldn't stop the party of heroes from going. Isn't that what we want to emulate? Giving him some pause. Interesting, I like that. I think I spoke over this part during the episode proper. If I lost my nerve here, I'd never be able to face my master again, right? To meet him as an equal and share these adventure stories with him. And of course, yeah, she doesn't want anything to do with the handkerchief that was just like touching his ballsack. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards, what do we have next? A little bit more embarrassment, and then over here. Okay, this is when we get a little bit more exposition from the demons. So Linny, I believe her name is, notices that there's no magical energy coming from Drat anymore, and we quickly theorize that he's dead. Both are pretty cold about it. What an idiot, he underestimated her. Which is true, he did do that. But there's no shit, my comrade, no, he died, how dare he, right? Which is like, I think that's building off of the thing we talked about last week, which is that demons from a very young age are solo, right? They look out for one person only, and that's me. Like, generally an army like that is gathered under Aura, right, would have united under a purpose, right? Is that purpose merely we want to go eat? Because that's a pretty good purpose. Like, we're banding together because we're stronger together because that gets us more food and power. Sure. Yeah, at this point, it's almost hilariously one note to the point where there's got to be something, right? Like the portrayal of demons here, I mean, right? Like, the writers are too smart to not do anything with it, even if the thing they're doing with it is just doubling down. That they gotta know, right, is my point. The last element of this scene before Granite walks in is these two going like, do you think that one of us would die merely from underestimating just someone? Now, this person must be pretty good, and leads to the end of the episode where they discover it's Frieren, and he has some previous knowledge of Frieren, and that all comes back together. I have no knowledge of the age span of a demon. Is it anything like an elf? Because you looked pretty much similar to how you do now, and that was 80 years ago. So do you guys not age either? Either way, we have Granite here and 4 of his knights, faceless as they are because they're essentially red shirts, even maybe indicating as such. So initially the demons try to keep up the bluff, like the prisoner escaped, the guy is beheaded, we'll help you look for her, right? This seems bad, we should discover this, it'll get in the way of our peace envoy mission. And Granite sees through it immediately, instead asking after the man that is missing from their crew. The guards start to surround. Even I can tell that this mage we've captured is really powerful, right? But she allowed my guards to seize her without a fight. She understands the seriousness of killing a guard. That probably spreads around, gets her a bounty. It just, shit turns bad. You become an outcast and a criminal pretty quickly. So Lugner, one last time, where is your man? And then yeah, he makes a good read here. He knows that he's beaten. He goes and bites his own arm, and it turns out he's a bloodbender. Which, I mean, That's a pretty cool, like, magic. Can he bend other people's blood like a certain other kind of bloodbender? Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, this is cool. I mean, he's fighting with blood. How much more like vampire can you get? Even though he's not a vampire, he's a demon. But you know what I mean, he's got vampire vibes. So yeah, then he bloodborns the shit out of everybody, and we have a direct conflict between the blood and the air with the sword of Graf Granite, which you can see it here. He's struggling to fight against it. Oh no. And this is an interesting little monologue from our friend Lugner here. Graf Granite, what are words? How do they differ from swords? No matter what we use, the weak die. Just like the sword's former owner, which I think from last week was his son, which is it's pretty rude, which causes him to press further into that and lowers his guard and yeah, strikes him somewhere in the midsection. It's not good. He's in a bad way. But going back a little bit further, like words versus swords, of course you've heard that one before, the pen and the sword. That's what it's all about. No matter which one we use, like the weak ones die. So what's the difference there? Like I'm very strong with my words to the point where I coerced you guys, or not coerced, where I kind of manipulated you guys to get on your good side and get in the city and get inside the barrier and all that other kind of stuff, right? So I was, stronger with my words, where I deceived you and, it was too little too late, and I am stronger with my sword because my sword went past your sword and, like, severely injured you, right? So yeah, I am superior. He is showing his dominance here. And yeah, Lugner elects to not defeat him because we theorize that we need him to lower the barrier, right? Which is true. I think it has something to do with the necklace, I think. We're going to learn more because Flam was the original kind of designer of this barrier magic. This here's one of my favorite scenes. So basically these two are off to see Graf Granite, like we were talking about in the previous scene, after his mansion to discuss stuff. Little do they know it's gone to shit. And yeah, hooded figure walks past that's about that height. And then Fern's immediately like, that's just fucking Frieren, dude. Let's let's just talk to her. I just love how immediately she sees through it. That's just great. Like, not even a double take or anything. Just like, that's Frieren. Let's go talk to her. And yeah, we go off to a back alley to have a chat, considering she's kind of still a criminal at this point. Essentially, Frieren catches them up to speed. The demon entered. I killed him. He got disintegrated. But then the guard was decapitated. So it looks pretty bad for me, considering I'm a mage. Even though Graf Granite's already figured out, but we don't know that yet. It's an interesting turn from Frieren emotionally as well, right? So normally along the journey, so far in the show, we've seen her elect to save the town instead of just moving on and being callous about it, which potentially she's done in the past. In a very similar way, she's back on her old bullshit, but kind of, with a twist. She trusts these two enough to be able to defeat the demons in this town, where she's going to go take care of the big problem instead, right? So, in essence, she's not leaving the town to its defenses. It's demonstrating her trust in these two to get the job done. I'm pretty sure that's what the smile at the end of the scene indicates as well, right? That she has the utmost faith in these two, and even though they may be complaining now, this is a learning experience for them. Again, much like earlier in that flashback in the show, where we're chucking Fern into the deep end and making her fight that beast. And as well as Stark's dragon thing. This is kind of a, version of that as well, but for the both of them. Leaving them with a little boost just to leave. Besides, I don't think you're weaker than them at all, right? I reckon you're up to this, you guys should go do that, I'm showing a lot of faith here. This results in Stark getting on his hands and knees and begging for Frieren's help. He peeks up to see if she turned her head back at all. She did not do such a thing. And Fern is perpetually disappointed in Stark in these situations. It's kind of their dynamic. Of course, Fern being through this song and dance before, having a lot more experience with Frieren, she understands what's going on. I have to do this myself, where Stark is holding on to a little bit of false hope there. And yeah, this smile here, they're gonna be okay. At least Fern gets it anyway. Frieren then walks off into the distance. We get a bit of internal dialogue here, where she sees she's being observed by from about 10 kilometers away, right? And we see who's doing such a thing. It's this bowl. No, it's kind of like, I don't know. She's got like a set of scales, and the scales are in balance. It's a metaphor, guys. You guys will figure it out. But let's talk about character design, because I like to talk about that a lot more. She's got horns. She's got pink hair. She's got this weird belly button thing. I think I like it. I think I do. She may be evil, and she may have a bunch of headless knights with her, but I wanted to succeed. I don't know why. The skirt too. These potentially thigh highs. Okay, let's go chat. The gloves. Yeah, okay, she's cool. I like her. I hope she sticks around for more than 2 episodes. Maybe. We'll see. So Frieren's dialogue here was initially a little bit confusing, but she says, I hate fighting like powerful opponents, so let's make this quick instead of, letting this turn into a thing where the town is at threat. I'm going to take the fight to them instead. This is what this smile here is about, and this like evil look. She almost looks more evil than the evil one here. Oh, that's a fun bit of contrast. I didn't see that before. So Fern like walks on the water, right? Because she's a mage, which is cool. And Stark has to swim through. And very tired. You could probably tell this is sweat as opposed to the water. Yeah, just at every moment along the journey here, we're contrasting Fern and Stark. Where Fern's having a fine time, got that magic with her, but Stark's struggling a little bit with the conditions. And this is great. This is just like no dialogue storytelling. So he's probably feeling like he's a little bit of like he's dragging the chain at the moment, and she's just better, right? So he wants to show off, right? He's like, okay, it's time for me to show off and do something and really help her out as well. So I'm gonna run up this wall and put out my hand like this. Grab my hand, princess. And then, no, did you forget I could fly? I'm just gonna fly over the wall. And again, as I said in the moment, I would have humored him and grabbed the arm because I think that's funny. They've got a really fun dynamic. I think I've said that enough. We then watch a scene of Frieren and Fern entering the mansion. They say it's oddly quiet, and we pan over to this scene with Lugna, Linny, and Graf Granite, where it's implied that they've been torturing him. Or they've just been letting him bleed out and they've been just talking. I don't know, it's unclear. He seems a bit more beat up than he was anyway. Quoll, that was his name. So Lugna gets to a little bit of a monologue here and shouts out magic, how much he loves magic. Just as Quoll, the elder sage of corruption, loved magic as well. We've seen Quoll before, I think, right? This guy. Yeah, we've definitely seen this guy. And we learn that demons dedicate, basically their entire lives to a single kind of magic. They're specialists. So far, we've seen the guy that died. He had the wire thing. This guy's a bloodbender, and I don't know what Linny does. She kind of detects mages and threatens to throw something sometimes. So I don't really know there. We're probably going to find out more about it in time, where we're building up a fight between her and Stark potentially. So we'll see about that. So every single day, the demons kind of perfect their own version of magic, right? But magic is a strange thing. Flam, the legendary mage's defensive barrier, has prevented demons from entering places forever, and she existed 1,000 years ago. We see metaphor here in the past where she's traveling with Frieren, that being Flam, and produces this barrier and puts it over this plant, right? She's got a bit of a plant thing going on, if you haven't noticed, that being Flam. Considering all the trees growing around her old base of operations or whatever. So she likes the plants, that's good. Yeah, sometimes a spell cast by a genius 1,000 years ago outmatches spells of the present. And I hate such geniuses, and it turns into a little bit of a talent versus hard work type beat, where sometimes you just get people that are built different, right? Is Frieren potentially one of them? Is Fern potentially one of them? All of this could be true. And again, I think it's easy to say that it's a talent versus hard work story, but I also think it's a hard work solo versus hard work in a group, right? So how did humanity's magic progress to the point where the Zoltrak spell just turned into normal offensive magic, and defensive magic grew as a result, as we learned about previous in the show? It's because they taught it in classrooms. It's because they tested it. It's because they shared knowledge. I don't think demons do such a thing. They're so inherently solo and solitary. I'm going to focus on my one kind. You're going to focus on your one kind. We're not going to share knowledge there. I think that's an interesting distinction, and more talks to the difference between human communities and demon communities, right? Where one's obviously very community-based and one's very individualistic. I don't know, both have their benefits, but in this case, it's shown some progress for the humanity/elf side. I hate geniuses. They lack the beauty of sustained effort. In that way, do you respect somebody like Stark some more, who's less of a genius and more of a hardworking type? I don't know, because we saw him grinding that night before he had to fight. Has he just been grinding his whole life? I don't know, potentially. Either way, we get the plot started here. He wants to take down the barrier. He theorizes that granite can take down the barrier, so we're gonna keep torturing him to get him to tell us the information about that. However, correctly predicted by me, he's gonna hold his nerve, right? If there's anything he cares about, it's the, you know, it's nobody else dying and it's the safety of the town, right? As represented by his dead son. He doesn't want that to happen to anybody else. In the meantime, these two are going to go look for a grimoire related to the barrier, and I think Stark's going to sneak in and start to save Graf Granite. For a second, Granite thinks that his son had come to save him, maybe talking to his delusions a little bit more than he means to. But yeah, he recognizes it as the adventure kid from this afternoon, calling him a kid. Not a lot of respect there. Like, didn't ask for the name, obviously not as dangerous as the mage he was traveling with, and, you know, similar feelings that Lugner probably has for Stark. Like, not a lot of expectation here. But in that same way, he finds such an effort valiant. In the same way that, you know, the demons were just talking about. This is hard work personified, right? Despite everything, despite not having the natural advantages up here, he's going to keep trying. It's valiant, and it reminds him of his son most of all. The second time in the scene we've brought up such a thing. Like, even if you're trembling now, that's only a good thing. It's a sign of respect, right? And more of that, I believe there was some discussion earlier during your first appearances as well, with Eisen and fear and harnessing fear and kind of subverting that through Eisen's actions when you two departed each other. There's stuff here. It's multi-layered. Also, I think this rope's like magic or something. That or he can't use a knife for some reason. Granite brings up that he should be, you know, protecting the town instead of him, and you know, if you have this necklace, then you'll be able to command the town to evacuate and all these kinds of things. I don't think you plant such stuff without things going awry. I see a world where Frieren is overwhelmed by her initial action, right? Where she's taking the fight to Aura. And then the town gets invaded, and then we need to evacuate, and then maybe Frieren needs to kind of steel herself again and have another go, or Fern helps out, or something else happens there. That's where I feel like this is going. So despite being told to go evacuate the town, Stark instead is going to destroy the chair that he's sitting in, which is another good way to get him out of there, I guess. But he is discovered. Lugner-sama, a rat, oh no. And then he really starts to shake. Shake, shake, shake. It's, you know, building to a climax. It's been shown off many times throughout the episode of Stark's nervousness here. And similarly again, look at the eye contact. All on Graf Granite instead of the kid, instead of Stark, right? You can leave now, boy. Like, not respecting him, don't care to learn his name. He's nothing to me. He's not powerful enough. I can defeat him in a second. Why should I pay him any kind of care? So he, like, walks in the way of his eyesight. He's like, notice me. I'm gonna make you notice me. This is his moment. And yeah, steals that resolve. Grips the axe. And yeah, it turns out he's actually quite fast to the point where we've landed some kind of blow here. That's pretty good. But all it does is really put some blood in the air, and we know how bad that is. And yeah, it gets out his giant demon hand. Look at that. Very cool. Lugner thinks he has this battle won. You know, young demons are just like young humans, or young humans are just like young demons, in that they're rash and irresponsible and stuff. But still, like, commending him for challenging him alone, right? I commend your valor. You didn't work together with anybody to defeat me, right? You've relied on your own skills and your own hard work. I think this is a little bit of a kindred spirit here. At least a little bit, right? Respecting this a lot more than the magics of Fern and Frieren, which are a little bit more talent-based, I believe, right? Because the whole thing with, like we saw Fern as like a fucking 5-year-old, right? We met her on that cliffside, and she's like, oh yeah, I like magic a little bit, I guess. And then she shoots massive fucking beam halfway across Gorge, and it's like, oh yeah, she's pretty fucking good for a 5-year-old, Jesus. Where in that same way, I don't think Stark started from a low base, right? He's very powerful now, but I believe that's through hard work. So if you guys didn't know, I don't know why you wouldn't, the tactic here was to distract Lugner long enough for Fern to get into position and fucking murder the shit out of him. For some reason, Linny didn't detect Fern at all. Maybe she was hiding that. Maybe that speaks to her talent some more. And yeah, this looks pretty bad until we learn he can just like regenerate. I wonder what you need to hit here. Is it the fucking heart? Do you need to explode the head, similar to how old mate died in the prison? Yeah, there's Fern looking very stone cold. I think this here speaks more to the demon's coldness as well, or maybe even specifically Lugner, right? Like, instead of worrying about myself and my own health at this point, like she could have just fucking killed the shit out of him. We let him talk, which is a bad sign. But he's like, what fucking spell was that? And how did you like, you know, get around the detection and all that kind of stuff, right? I want to know how you did that. Did you do that through hard work? Did you do that through talent, or somewhere in between? Fern at least recognizes this as well, right? And Lugner's stumped that, like, this isn't Zoltrak. This is a weird Zoltrak. Like, we've been fighting humans that know that, and it hasn't been like that. So, like, I think Frieren's taught you some special juice, and she hasn't really told you. Oh, I missed this bit of dialogue here. Okay. Graf is gravely injured. Okay, so if he's gravely injured, we need to get him out of here and get him some medical attention. A prolonged fight here isn't going to help anybody if we want to keep everybody alive. So even though we have the upper hand here, where one of them is incapacitated, and we could probably solo the girl. Let's be honest. Like these two 2v1 her. We're prioritizing the Graf because he's going to die. Okay, sure. Fine. So after we recuperate here, we're going to go after the girl and the boy. We've got a bit of blood on them, so we can track them wherever they go. And specifically telling Linny to target the boy. Target Stark. And Linny thinks that she can, take both, which, no, you can't. If you'd been struck by that spell, it would have killed you. That spell has been modified to specialize in killing demons. It can hardly even be called Zoltrak anymore. It's evolved beyond that point. It's specifically a demon-killing spell. The way that girl moved reminds me of another mage, and I've been struck by that same magic once before. Wow, did you develop such a magic, or did you learn it from Flam, or whatever the hell? Either way, like, he puts two and two together here. That mage in the town, that's been Frieren this entire time. The person that slaughtered the most demons in history, or whatever the last line is here. Yeah, look at this. I fought her once before. Look at all the demons that died in her fucking wake. Yeah, look at her. Demon killer extraordinaire. Oh, this is pretty metal too. Look on her face there. See this here? You think it's like blood or something, or dirt on her face? It's fucking demon miasma, right? Something from the conflict is spilled onto her face and is then kind of disintegrating away, the same way demons die. Now that's fucking metal as shit. Yeah, so now he remembers that the mage in question is Frieren, the mage who contributed significantly to humanity's analysis of Zoltrak, as we've learnt before, and slew more demons than anyone else in history. Frieren the Slayer, which I think is coincidentally also the title of the episode. True. One more thing. I just want to look at her character design one more time again. Dude, hell yeah. Give me so many characters like this, I can't get enough. Anyway, yeah, that's the end of the episode. I'm going to stop being a weirdo. So yeah, the stage is set next week for the two-parter. If it even is that, I'm guessing they're just both about the same conflict here, which is against Aura. And yeah, I think this episode was more interesting thematically than I thought. Kind of weaving this tale about, talent, hard work, community knowledge, individual knowledge. What is the correct decision here? How do we contrast that with Frieren's tendency to be solo, but also be able to work in groups? Is she kind of a happy medium, almost between the qualities of humanity and the qualities of demons? I do not know. I do not know. Is that something we're speaking to here? I can only theorize, but I think that makes a lot of sense. I liked a lot of Stark stuff this episode. Fern and Stark's dynamic continues to be really nice on screen. And yeah, it seems like Frieren's going to try and solo the entire army of Aura. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, looking forward to next week and seeing such a thing. Just some chill stuff here. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Almost at 800. You could click subscribe and get me to 800. That would be pretty cool. Either way, comment below if you feel the need to do so. Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord. Please let me know what I'm going to do this weekend, because I don't know yet. Even if it is anything, maybe it's just a poll video, I don't know. But yeah, please do that if you feel so inclined. Either way, that's the end of the video here today. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching Frieren with me. And I'll catch you guys for more later on. Cheerio. Catch you later.